Good morning, afternoon,
afternoon,
evening,
everyone.
hello.
How are you all? How are you, Matty boy?
I'm good. I'm tired.
Have you
Bracket round one wore me out.
brow?
You know what? I'm not sweating as much as normal. That's something, but I'm definitely tired from it. It was intense.
A lot of exertion went into round one. The highly anticipated Ping versus Titleist.
We couldn't make it a letdown. It had to be two of the favorites. It had to be good.
It was quite something, wasn't it?
It was quite something.
Saw some of the best drives from one of the drivers I've seen. Some of the best drives I've ever seen in the bracket.
Yes.
It was quite a spectacle, and it came down to decimal points.
It really did. Something occurred. A tragic occurrence, a technology failure. You'll find out what happened. And we just kind of had to go with it because the bracket is for fun. And it's never going to be perfect. We just wanted to make it as authentic as possible. And that is authentically what occurred this morning. There was some high drama, high stakes.
There was seriously some drama.
High finance.
But that's the way the bracket goes. The bracket brings the drama.
It does, yeah. It wouldn't be very fun if it was, here's 10 drives.
Definitely. And you guys, you guys know as well enough to know what the bracket is by now, but
I hope you do.
The bracket is not a definitive, this is the best driver of the year.
No.
Because you can never do that test with one person. That would never be the test for all of you guys. You're going to get to see drivers head to head. You're going to see characteristics, and really you're going to see what fits Matt best.
Definitely, and you're also going to see what happens that day and that hour that we filmed that video. It's like playoffs in basketball or hockey. A lot of these drivers can beat each other on other days with my swing, and you get what you get that morning.
Exactly.
And it was tight. That was close. It's the closest margin we've ever had is this the third year? In the 3 years we've done this, that's by far the closest. I don't remember ever. We're looking at like decimal points. Like we had to get the calculator out twice.
We had to do a little recount and
just to make sure.
Unbelievable.
Love it.
Wild scenes.
So you'll see that tomorrow.
Yes.
You'll see that tomorrow.
Yeah.
Tomorrow.
Very cool. Very cool. Big win for Rory.
Good. Yeah, I watched a ton of it. It was really good to watch. Yeah, I really just kind of sat on my couch almost the entire weekend. It was nice. Really nice. Watched the lad all Sunday. He played really well.
Did he?
He drove it great.
I
mean,
solid.
18 was what it was. He kind of hit a bit of a... Yeah. Probably towed his 3 wood a bit, but he still made a bogey. It's all he had to do.
Getting back in the saddle at any level is not easy.
No,
a year and 6 months from his last win.
That was his drought, they said, yeah.
Rory's had those. He's been inconsistent in this 4-round tournament golf. He's had a couple of good rounds, and then he has maybe a bad round in there.
Yes.
This was a really nice progression. Obviously, what did he shoot? I think 72 first round. Then he maybe shot 5 under, then he shot 2-3 unders or something. Yeah,
because he finished yesterday. I think he was 8 or 9, and Keith Mitchell was up by 1 or 2, and then Rory ended up shooting whatever he was 1 or 2 under yesterday, and that's all it took. It's kind of like a little major vibe. That the last 3 holes there are sort of like you got to kind of hang on. And I'll tell you what I thought was almost going to happen. I almost thought Abraham Anser was going to steal it because he made 3 birdies in a row. I'm like, if he gets a 10 under, I bet you he gets in the playoff. And he actually almost made birdie on 17. It was exciting, but he's sneaking up there. His iron play is crazy, that guy. He doesn't hit it that far, but
he doesn't.
His proximity is a joke.
He's maybe 108, 110 club head speed.
Something like that, right?
It's not long, but his short game is just nasty.
It's so good. I'll tell you what I noticed. I'm sure you said this before. The ball speed and like launch condition numbers they keep posting on these broadcasts, they're all over the place.
I know.
They've got like Stuart Sink 1 minute's hitting at 179 ball speed. I'm like, okay, well I don't know, but maybe. And then Bryson's like 184, and then Bryson's 195, and then Rory's 189, and then he's 173. It's like, I don't know about this stuff.
All over the map.
They're all over the place, but it's fun to see. I mean, it's good to get some numbers for people, right?
Definitely. Guys, we have a special guest joining us on the live.
That's right.
We're going to try and get our newest recruit to the TXG team. Big welcome to Ryan Bradford.
Welcome, Ryan.
I saw a few people mention it on the comments already, which is fantastic.
It is fantastic.
We're going to get a little...
just got to remind myself how to do this. Here we go. Interview on.
There we go. Ryan is joining us from the Golf WRX team. He will be lead content strategist for TXG. So what Matt and I have obviously done with the YouTube channel has been to bring you guys content, information about equipment and club fitting. But really outside of that, this has been our marketing strategy. This is how we brought TXG to the masses.
Definitely.
What Ryan will come in and do is bring a little bit more diversity to that. The work he's done with Golf WRX and on his own social accounts is to just inform golfers. Does some phenomenal written pieces.
Yeah, he does.
The
writing's really good, isn't it?
Yeah, really, really good.
It's really good.
So what we're trying to do is build a team around TXG Media that is going to really bring you guys the best, most accurate, most informative
said.
info in golf.
Very well said. Remind me, forgive me, I don't remember. Did we use headphones for this so it wasn't echoing? What were we doing last time?
Oh, we did.
Do you have your little earbuds for today?
I have earbuds.
Okay, we'll just have to split a pair of those.
Okay, yeah, we can do that.
I texted you the link. I don't have Brad's number.
Okay.
Just fire that to him and he'll be good to go.
RB.
Yeah, we did this before. We muted our mics and then this will be fun. As usual, you can tell I am so well prepared for what's necessary, but it's good. Off the cuff.
What's going on in the comments today?
Just having a quick peek here, seeing what everybody's up to. Yeah, a couple of Abraham Answer fans, which I can absolutely understand. Troy's asking how much of a performance loss there would be using a scuffed golf ball for a couple of rounds. I'd say a little bit, Troy, in the aerodynamics, no question about it. It's not going to end your round, I don't think, but it's a bit of a trade-off, isn't it? You got to decide how much money do I want to spend on a pristine golf ball per hole and how much will it actually matter.
Yeah.
But I'm sure it matters a bit. You just have to decide if, you're talking about small fractions of percents, I'm sure, at that point, unless it's a massive smiley face and it hit the trunk of a tree or something.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I think at that point I would say to people, maybe pick the price bracket of golf ball you're using wisely enough that you don't have to use a scuffed golf ball.
It's a great idea.
Maybe
Totally.
maybe drop down to a level where you're getting great budget or great value for the golf balls, and then if one does get a little scuffed up, toss it.
No, I think you're totally right about that. Yeah, you don't want a golf ball that you're like, I can't stand the idea of losing this or having it scuffed.
Definitely.
Because it's so damn expensive.
Definitely. Our good buddy Scott McLeod, the team gets stronger. Great to see the addition of Ryan to the squad. Yep, thanks Scott.
Great.
Yep, definitely.
Thanks, Scott.
We're pleased. Really pleased to have Ryan on board. I think it'll be great for us. It's great for everyone.
I totally agree.
What generally happens, Matty boy, when the shaft gets too flexible? Here's a good question because we just encountered it.
Yes. Well, loss of face control. That's a big one.
Yeah.
Especially for me.
And face control is, a lot of people think when they think face control is this. Face control can be that.
It's true, every dimension, isn't it?
It can. It can be the vertical, it can be the horizontal.
Yeah, good point.
It can tilt on any one of those angles. It's just a loss of control. It's a lack of consistency. Your standard deviation increases. The likelihood of seeing all types of shots increases.
That's absolutely right.
I wouldn't expect to see one particular shot. I think the soft shafts hook and stiff shafts block.
It can be.
Used to be what kind of people thought about it, but in our testing, it's not really.
Could really be anything, isn't it?
Could be anything.
And then the person's swing will kind of determine what happens.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
Definitely.
What else is going on in here?
Kev is asking how much head weight should be added.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, good question.
Is it to a sim? Probably to a sim when trimming a driver shaft to 44.5.
Good question.
Yeah, you're going to want to be adding back in there approximately, well, depending obviously what you want your swing weight to be at.
Yeah, true.
But I would say you're going to want to probably add 6 to 8 grams back in there to offset that.
And that's assuming what? Most drivers are 45 and a half now at standard kind of thing?
45 and a half, yep.
Not from here, I'm just saying like generally
in general,
speaking.
45 and 3/4 at a lot of places, I think Ping certainly, but yeah, either 45 and a half or 45 and 3/4
thereabouts,
now.
right?
Yeah.
Quick shout out, though we can't really say what it is. We had a visit from Cobra Canada just now.
Yep.
They dropped off some new stuff, which you guys will see probably, if not by the end of next week, the week before. But some really nice stuff. Something had your eye a little bit. I was glad to see that.
I was
one of those models.
With a couple of mallets.
We can say they're putters. I'm sure we can say they're putters.
A couple of mallets, and there was a feel of one of them that just kind of caught my attention when I was hitting a couple of putts with it. So I went and grabbed another one of the mallets, hit a couple with that, and it did resonate with me.
Good.
The feel was very, very unique.
Exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, they're good. So we have them in the shop. Obviously, we can't show them to you, but expect to see that in the near future. It'll be good. We need to do some putting anyway. It's been ages.
I know.
It's been great.
We definitely do. Yeah, Heath's saying he enjoyed the matches with Mikey and I.
Good.
Yeah, they've been good fun matches. So I play. So I'm +2. Mikey's a 4. So we thought 6 shots would be the right number.
Yeah.
Both the matches were a little one side. So we played a match on Saturday just for fun. We just came in and hit some balls, and I gave him 4 shots a side.
So 8 total.
8 total.
To be honest, I think that's probably how it would actually work. Because your factor gets applied. His course handicap probably should be more like a 6,
right?
And you would stay at a +2.
That.
So that's probably about right.
True.
4 and 4.
Point. And we had a really good match. Like, it was way tighter. Like, he got up early, and then I had to kind of battle back and stuff.
Oakmont?
And actually,
Is that Oakmont?
Oakmont,
nice.
Yeah, it was
Stomping grounds.
good.
And you guys have both played there, so that's kind of fun.
Exactly.
It's great.
So we now have a slightly better handicap system for some closer matches.
I think that makes sense. Honestly, you can do it on the Golf Canada app. I'm sure in the States, if there's a USGA app, you can put in, like, it's a course handicap calculator.
Yep.
You pull the course up, what team am I going to play? You put your factor in or your index, and then it will tell you, okay, you get 6 here. I do it with the guys at the club all the time.
Right.
Because it's like, so-and-so, you say, oh, what are you? I'm a 4. It's like, okay, but then you actually do get 6 at the course kind of thing. But that's good.
Love it. Russ is saying, I love the chirping you gave Mikey. Listen, I'm just trying to keep up with him.
I know,
he gets lippy.
He delivers it, doesn't he?
He gets
really
lippy. He is one of the cheekiest little, know what's.
He really is.
Yeah, but it's good fun.
It is funny though.
And it was funny, the front 9, like, we were having some good banter in the front 9. But when it wasn't as competitive towards the early into the back 9,
yes,
it fizzles out. You need it to be close.
Yeah, because otherwise one person just feels like, oh God, get me out of here. Like, I've had enough of this.
Yeah,
that's the way golf is.
That's the way it goes. That's good fun.
Love it. What else is going on?
What's new in the world? Do we want to tease this video that we're going to record today?
Yeah, let's get some people's thoughts on it. I think it's a great idea.
So I think in golf, the holy grail for a lot of golfers is to hit it 300 yards.
Yes, I agree.
I think for most amateur golfers, if you get it close to that, you're considered somebody who's decently long.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We're going to break down how to hit it 300 yards with the least amount of effort or
like the club head speed input, right?
Yeah. What do you need? What are the ingredients you need into that recipe? What speed? At what launch? At what spin?
Yes.
What face sort of impact location? Let's kind of mix all of this in to get you guys to get towards the holy grail of distance.
Like this, I'm sure I had about 15 titles. I texted you one last night. I feel like I want to change it now to it could be like the science of a 300-yard drive, or like the ingredients of a 300-yard drive, or how fast you have to swing to hit a 300-yard drive. I'll just put all those titles up, like an 18-line long title. But yeah, I think people are curious because they go, okay, well, I'm doing speed training. So many people are doing speed training, and I'm up to 95. It's like, well, is that enough?
Exactly.
And if it isn't, then what do I you know what I mean? Like, what would I have to do? Or if I already swing 110 and I hit it 260 every time, well, then what the hell's wrong? What's going on here?
Yeah. Because we're going to find the speed, and then lots of people will go, well, I'm that fast.
Yes.
I don't do that. I don't hit it that far. So
no, totally. This will be good. It'll be fun.
Yeah.
We'll probably do it on the range with medium conditions.
Marcus, that is so good.
What do you say?
This is a recipe for a lot of views and 7 thumbs down.
The truest words ever spoken, isn't it? So true. Yes, 7 to 9, sometimes 9. If it's a good video and a lot of people watch it, it may go higher. Who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows?
Joe's saying Mikey needs the ripstick, super speed, and the stack system, all 3 at once.
That's funny. Well, he still apparently would trade me 10 shots to his handicap for 20 miles an hour. I'm not sure if he still feels that way, but
yeah, I know. Well, our good pal Scott Cowkes messaged me over the weekend, and he said, you fancy doing some more videos? And
yeah, great idea.
I said, love to get you in, and he said, what about a little speed video with Mikey?
That's a good idea.
So
definitely do that.
Because he's someone that people can really resonate with, 97 to 100, and
and how can he get some more club head speed?
How's he going to get that to 105, then 107, 108?
Let's do
that type of thing.
I love it.
So I think that would be good.
Let's do that whenever is first available. Yeah.
Where Dave's saying, are we saying 300 yards carry or total?
Total.
Total.
And we'll put it, I think we'll go on the range, we'll go medium ground conditions,
Yeah.
nothing crazy, and no, the green roll won't be factored in, just like a pure sort of flat situation.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
What happened with, Anders is saying there, what do you boys think about Rory's drop caddying at its finest? So he had to drop on 18.
Yeah,
What
so
happened there?
so he hit it left, it bounced off the hill, it technically went into the hazard but wasn't in the water. Wasn't he about to kind of like try to pitch it out kind of thing?
Yeah, I think the way it looked, if he was to go right at the green, it was kind of a tough line.
Oh, it was
He
rough.
digging
Oh, it
first
was
in the
bad.
water. So Rory starts walking up the hill into where like the fans are,
Yeah.
pedestrians,
Right.
to try and almost look like he's just going to chip it up
Yep.
onto the top and then go from there.
We need a paddy cam.
I know, seriously.
We need a paddy cam.
Patty's over there, just so you guys know.
And then
It's giving us the
Patty
recap.
makes a suggestion just to do a little
Yeah.
drop on the side and
Yeah.
give him a better lie.
And
And
he hits it on the green and two putts it, right? Yeah.
yeah, for the win.
Because I saw somebody else,
Nice.
I don't know who it was, but they were showing a bunch of guys on the early broadcast, like on Saturday or something, and someone was in a similar position. They tried to do that pitch out. They literally clunked it and hit it into the river.
Yeah.
So if Rory had done that, then he would have been totally screwed. Because his caddy was right. Take a drop, hit it on the green, two putt, and you have a two-shot lead anyway. So it was great caddying. It's true.
Love that.
Very good caddying.
Yeah, because he's really he's not had the best of kind of success with this is his friend, isn't it?
This is his buddy now, isn't it? Yeah, yeah.
And obviously JP, who he had on the bag for the longest time,
That's
they
right.
were really successful. And,
They were. So successful.
So, it's
most.
good. It's good to see that he's given him some real credit.
I think so. Yeah.
For giving him that other opinion.
It's funny though. It's like if he ends up missing the green after that drop, chipping up and two putting, getting a playoff,
Yeah.
then it's bad caddying. It's like it's so
I
funny
know, I
though.
know.
It's like, oh, great caddying. It's like, I guess so.
Yeah.
But it's true. They seem to be getting into a bit of a groove. Absolutely.
Definitely.
Kiowa Island PGA Championship for old Rory looks awfully good because that's where he absolutely left everyone in his dust last time.
Timing is interesting with these things, isn't it? When you find your mojo.
There's
And
breath.
RB.
Do you want to grab
Colin?
your headphones?
Yeah. Let me do that.
Just Ian's AirPods, so we can share them. Here he is. Ryan, give us 2 seconds, bud. We're just sorting the sound out. He's in the green room, just so you know. Guest is in the green room. There he is. Doesn't look green. It looks like the walls are white. That's buddy.
Let's see.
Set of pros here, eh?
Pros for the boys. Pros for the bros.
Pros for the bros. Ian's AirPods number 3. Is that you?
Should be AirPod Pro. I think it should come up as.
Oh boy. Stand by, folks. Pardon me. There you are. Pardon me.
Riveting TV.
I know.
Oh,
You can tell this wasn't in our production meeting this morning. Yes, connect. That's what I want. Let me know if you hear something in your ear just now.
no, not yet.
Bear with us, folks. Why don't you take a question or two?
Yeah, we'll do
I'll
that.
fiddle with this for a minute.
We will do that. Raj is saying excited to see RB join the TXG team. Thank you, Raj. We are too. John is saying trouble is once you've reached 300, then you just want 350. Well, we'll go one step at a time, John.
So true.
One
He's
step.
not wrong though, because it's like once you have that, you want to hit it further, and you want to hit it further. Where does it end? I can't get these to connect for some
Is
reason.
is Matty ever going to do a longest drive off the tee with a putter? Julian's asking. Not sure if he is.
I'm not sure if he is.
Can you
This is not working.
grab?
My headphone jack's busted. We're gonna see what happens with this. I'll just mute it when Ryan's talking. It'll be fine.
You do my keys. See if they're. I think in my office. Grab my front seat, my little Apple case. I think we might need to connect it through.
Oh, of course. Yeah. Good point. Good point. Let's take a couple questions.
We'll grab a couple. RB, hang fire.
Hang in there, bud. Enjoy the green room. Sorry. Yeah, you're probably right, eh? Put him back in the
needs
case.
a bigger mug.
You do. There's not enough capacity in there. What's that one say? You're a star or something? Be yourself? Some other cliche nonsense?
Be
Be the best version of you?
Yeah, something like that. Some motivational quote.
That's what we need.
What are your guys' favourite training tools? What do you like, Matty boy?
Smart ball?
We like the smart ball. Really, the Tour Striker stuff is
Yeah, honestly, Martin's
best
stuff
in
is
class, isn't it?
Yeah, Martin and Dave obviously with the plane mate. But yeah, most of my favorite training aids over the last number of years that I've just been involved in golf, a lot of them come from those guys and Martin.
Yeah. Kurt's asking what degree hybrid would be good for a 4-iron replacement. I think if you're around 22 degrees, 22, 23, that would be a really nice.
That's the number, eh?
Yeah, that would be good. That would be good. Got my 1-year TXG trophy today. How about a party horn for the boys? Ba 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 bow. That's some volume today.
So loud.
That's so good.
Normally I have that muted, but for you guys,
So good.
I love that DJ air horn. So funny.
Let's see. Guys, I did turn my mic off.
Oh no,
Apologies.
that's okay. That's okay.
I did. I turned it off while I was messing about back there.
No worries. It happens.
That's so funny. Raj saying everyone in his office just stood up and looked. Sorry about that, guys. Didn't realise it was turned up so loud.
Hey, listen, if you're at work, it's not our fault. Don't
Sorry,
get mad at me.
Sorry. Did you find them? Sorry. Patrick saying the horn just woke up the office and the dead.
Good.
Okay.
They needed a waking.
Stiffest versus softest shaft that you can control. Thoughts? Matt, I just think it's a timing game, but I just think it's not really a case of ever playing the stiffest or the softest. I think either way you're going to be making some sacrifices, but I really think what it's going to come down to is just timing, right? And we just had an experience of that.
Yes, that's right.
We were using it, the Ventus Blue in the bracket first round with Matty. The thread gave up inside the little hosel
Yeah, that's right.
connector.
Yep.
It happens. You know, these things are made out of, you know, very lightweight, you know, aluminum probably. And we changed into another shaft, and your timing just
had to
wavered a little
probably
bit.
took what, like 5-10 swings and then kind of
Yeah.
came back again. But no, you're absolutely right. It doesn't, even if there's similar shafts,
Yeah.
like it sometimes just throws you off a bit.
Yeah, definitely. All right, let's see this.
Try
bad
these.
boy.
Put them back in for
Yeah.
in the first part.
Yeah, I'll grab a couple more. Mike
grab-
saying saw a guy selling his Autoflex already. Yeah, I mean, there's always going to be. I mean, you
Not
look
for everybody.
You look for a 10 say 1K, you'll find some second-hand ones.
So true.
You know, we love.
Yep.
We love that shaft, but it's not for everyone.
Nope. Nothing could possibly be for everybody. Okay.
Let's see if that pops up.
Okay, so it's on there. AirPods Pro, connect.
It should come up there.
Connection request. Yes, I would like a connection request.
Hello.
I accept your
Hello,
request.
friends. Let's see if we've got one. Dave's Autoflex is in heaven. Yeah, I think you did you find a head, Dave? Let us know if you found. I know you were struggling to get a head that spun low enough for you, but let us know if you ever did.
I don't know what's going on with me. Say that again.
Pal Rob Coates is saying he saw Velicor Ventus shafts for sale. My point exactly. Probably the best shaft. You know, it's going to be a Hall of Famer. It's going to be one of the best ever, but you know, it's not for everyone. Not for everyone.
Keep going, but so we can have some hope for this thing.
Okay. What are the best looking irons for both of you? For me, the Mura TC201 is the best.
That's right.
Absolutely love them. What's your favourite looking iron?
Just for looks, eh? Honestly, I think those tireless blades. I love those. The blades and the CB. If I was just going to play clubs based on looks from last year, that's probably what I would have played.
Yeah, you like those?
But I miss-hit the ball too much. I can't make this work. It keeps saying connected, then it's unconnected, then it's reconnected, then it's unconnected. It's just like... So what I can do is, like, I'll mute... Like, when Ryan's talking, if we mute our mics, we can hear him through the speakers. You know what I mean? And then everyone's just going to hear Ryan's voice.
Yep.
And it's just going to be a little bit tough to do, but I'll pay attention.
Okay.
I'll pay attention to it. And if I mess it up, forgive me.
We'll give this a run.
Otherwise, it's going to be me staring at this Bluetooth menu for another 20 minutes. I don't think anybody wants to see that. So, Ryan, if you can hear us, come in. Feel free to say hello. We'll just mute our mics now, and then we'll go from there. We'll do our best. Okay, you good?
Yeah.
Just pop up here so you don't forget. All right, here's the man. There he is.
The man, the myth, the legend.
Good afternoon.
Hello.
How are you, amigo?
You're not able to see me, though.
You guys can hear me loud and clear?
We can.
We definitely can, guys. Let us know if you can hear. Can you
able to hear
hear
Ryan.
Ryan? Okay. And ideally, guys, I think what we'll do is while we've got Ryan on for, certainly the next 15, 20 minutes, let's dive into some questions.
Great idea.
Yeah, let's see what's going on. Ask away any questions. We'll direct some over for Ryan, and let's do it.
Okay. All right. I will get some questions for us.
Ryan is a little loud.
That's okay. I can fix that. Yeah, I can fix that. Okay, let's take this one right here. Nice techie question for our boy here. Ryan, you can, that's time delayed. We'll read it for you. So MMT's 125 TX, feel versus a Nippon in regular stiff. I'm assuming steel, right? Torque is quite a bit higher on the MMT TX. What do you think?
Well, I think the big thing is the weight on that Nippon. I'm not sure which one they're referring to, so that's going to play a big part in that. But graphite will always, I've found, reduce a lot of the vibration, especially on mishits, and that to me is the biggest thing. As far as really hitting them, that's really just a general observation, only because I haven't had a huge chance to actually test the MMT. And as far as the 125 TX goes, that is well outside of my swing speed range. So. But the graphite versus steel is really the big one there. And I think, when you do happen to miss hit shots with the graphite, even with something that's heavy and stuff like that, you're going to notice a big reduction in vibration.
Yeah, so I've been playing that. I got a set of 125 TXs and popped them in some ZX7s. They feel really, really solid, but I would say for me the little drop in weight, they feel a fraction lighter. They actually feel a little, feel better than what I'm currently using.
Yeah.
I really like them. I love the vibration dampening element of it. It really makes every shot feel and it's going to sound really, really solid. But I'm excited to try them in the Muras.
Yeah.
I'm excited to pop
nice
them in the
fit, isn't it?
TC201s and see how they are.
That's what Abraham Answer was playing at one point, right?
It is exactly. Let's try this one more time with the AirPods. I think because it was my Bluetooth.
Oh, it was on your phone.
Let's try. RB, 1 second. We're gonna try this one more time.
Final Bluetooth attempt.
No worries.
Okay, here we go. AirPods Pro connect. Hold on. Bluetooth menu. Stand by. Here, you take a question while I do that.
Okay, buddy. Tucker's get the staff pack. It's obviously a PJ Pro with Titleist this year and wants to know the difference between T100s and CBs. Tucker, I think what you're going to just find is the T100s are just a little bit more forgiving. I think that's the biggest thing you'll find of the CBs. Both really, really nice irons. But when it comes to the kind of multi-material design of T100s, you're kind of getting the performance of an oversized golf club, a bigger cavity, into a really small player's package. So I just think it comes down ultimately to a little bit more forgiveness over the CBs. But like we always say, forgiveness comes in many shapes and sizes and forms. It's not always just on, ball speed protection, on toe and heel hits. It comes through in a bunch of different ways. So weigh up whatever you need.
No dice.
No dice?
This is fine, honestly,
Okay.
dude. I'll just pay attention to the sound. Should be fine. You guys keep going.
Cool.
How about this one here? This is a nice techie build
on
question. Ryan, you grab this one. Okay,
All right.
A RadSpeed XB with a graphite design Tour AD HD, tipped an inch. You'll need to fill in the blanks. It doesn't say final build length, but any swing weight issues with a RadSpeed XB and a tipped Tour AD HD.
Yeah, the length is going to be the biggest factor there. Length and even grip size, and also with the Tour AD HD shaft weight as well. So to fill in a lot of blanks on the question here. But as far as just the head weight and that shaft goes, if it is, we're talking like say a 60X or a 60S, anything between 45 and 46 inches is not going to be a huge issue as far as swing weight is concerned. You're probably going to hit the mid Ds without really any issue. But again, if you want to play longer, you can go with a heavier grip or go with some type of counterbalance, and you'll be all set.
I think for Lucas making sure that he's not tipping an existing, an already pre-cut HD.
Yeah, because then you're screwed, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So as long as, Lucas, you're working with a full-length, raw 46-inch shaft, you're absolutely fine, and the rest is up to you, when it comes to determining the length. But, if you are cutting down an already prepped and tipped version, you might need to then look at potentially a little bit extra headweight if you are tipping it. But, the build is still TBD at that point.
Yeah,
isn't
it's
it?
so true. The finish length is pretty important.
Definitely.
Have you heard anything about this? Sort of Mizuno driver creeping up on the list? What is it?
RB, tell us about that one.
Yeah, let's hear about this thing.
There was one crept up this morning, didn't there? I'm going to Google it.
Yeah, I spotted on the USGA list this morning. It's I think it's called the STG. There's a number 220 around the hosel. Let me bring this picture up on my phone so I can actually see if I can remember what I'm actually describing here. And with it, there's a return to the adjustable weight, which is a big thing because they haven't done that in the most modern driver. Yeah, there's the one. And then also the other part of that is there's also a sliding track right at the back of the head. And judging by the depth of it and the weights that are available, that look to be available in the head, you can take both of them out and put them right in the far weight track. So, you're going to have something where you can put them all the way at the front. You can maximize really the heel and toe weighting because they are around the perimeter. And then for someone who wants a higher MOI driver, you can just put them right in the back, which will help with a little bit of extra loft and impact, dynamic loft, and then just MOI and overall. So you've got from the pictures that I can see, you got adjustable hosel, adjustable weight. It's hard to tell, but it might look like it's a little bit shorter heel toe, which could mean a deeper face. And I mean, they've already got some low spinning drivers, so this just seems to be another option where if anything has adjustability, just adds to the option and opportunity for a tighter fit.
That's well said. I saw, we were talking about earlier, Keith Mitchell hitting an awful lot of good drives with his, I don't know, what model does he play? I couldn't get a kind of glance at it. He'd probably be in the...
He'll be in the Z.
In the Z, yeah.
I think he'll be in the Z.
It's a good-looking drive. It looks great behind the ball, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Hit some bombs. He was hitting some bombs.
He is a good driver of the golf ball. Strokes gained, one of the very best out on tour.
Really is.
Really drives it long, straight, and that's what that course demands, doesn't it?
It really does.
Really, you got to hit it off the tee. You look at the guys who have won there. Rory won there multiple times. JT won his major.
That's
there.
right, he did. That's right, the JT.
So, yeah, definitely requires some good driving.
Yeah. What else do you see there?
Lots of nice welcomes to RB to the team.
Welcome.
Really nice to see.
A couple people were asking Ryan if you would be continuing anything you were doing previously. I know you've got some podcasts and stuff you're involved in. Is that kind of you're going to start fresh with some different stuff here? Just give us a little update about kind of what you guys have planned.
Yeah, everything is fresh with TXG. It's really excited about it. Social media won't change. You can find me there in all the places, and I know a lot of people have reached out today, which I'm very thankful for. I've tried to wave and say thanks to everybody during the process here, but no, it's a full transition to TXG and just providing a little bit more content in general to the idea of what's behind your equipment, what goes into your equipment, what goes into the manufacturing of your equipment, what goes into the processes behind properly getting fit and the technology that's required, either on a do-it-yourself level, which I've really done a lot of on my own. You're curious where I am. I'm actually in my own little shop right here. So there's lots and lots of stuff kicking around, as you can imagine. But it's my whole goal and my whole thing has always been to help educate and create smarter golfers and let you make smarter decisions and know more about your own gear. And if you have someone who is asking questions, so hopefully we can create more smart people and more smart golfers to help their friends as well.
Yeah,
Very
very
good.
well said. Yeah,
Yeah.
more information the better, and I think just allowing our team to diversify a little bit. Obviously, the main avenues that we share information on right now are YouTube and a little bit on Instagram. What bringing Ryan in will allow us to do is attack way more mediums than that. We'll kind of cover the full gambit, and that's that's bringing Ryan on. Obviously, Paddy, who's kind of the other side of the wall here. Patrick's going to be doing a lot of stuff with some short form content for us as well. And what the idea is, guys, that you'll just be able to find us wherever you consume information. You'll be able to find us, whether it's here, whether it's Insta, whether it's podcast. Wherever it may be, you can find us at your leisure. That's the idea.
You'll be able to get away.
Yes, be sick of us.
Everywhere you look, there'll be TXG.
Yeah.
For you. Love it.
Oh, this is a pivotal question from Andrew Smith, and I actually don't know if Ryan has the answer for this because I'm not sure how much. But Ryan,
He knows you well enough, I'm sure.
Rangers or Celtic?
Which one's the not? Which one's the? Which one's the not green one, Ian? Which one's not green again?
So there's part of our team. So I'm on the blue side of Glasgow, the Rangers side, RB, and then Patrick and mostly just Patrick. He's on the Celtic
mostly
side
him.
of things. So yeah.
And then I don't even really watch it, so there you go. I'm neutral. I'm like Switzerland. I just like to rile the two of them up so they fight with each other. It's funny.
We could talk F1 instead if you want.
There you go.
Exactly.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
We'll leave that one in Glasgow.
Yeah. What else we got?
Really good one here from Chase, RB, because you and I have talked about this one for years, way back before TXG days. But how much does lie angle on wedges matter?
Massive. So to use a visual here, this is maybe a poor example, but let's see here. So you've got a club with 0 loft on it. If you rotate this club, and this would be like the launch, then you're going to see that this angle doesn't change. That pencil or pen is pointed basically right at the same direction. Once you start to add more loft, when you think about where this is aiming, that's when you start to get these huge shifts in where the club face is pointed at impact, just because of lie angle. So the more loft, the more crucial it is, especially as you're trying to hit those shots further. And that's why, lie angle is not as crucial on a driver as it is. It still helps, but on a wedge, you're talking a couple degrees can be 10 yards at 100 yards. And if you ever get a new set of wedges and you're trying to figure out why you're always missing right or left, generally for a lot of players, especially in the 56 and 60, where they need to go flatter because you're not creating shaft deflection, your hands are lower when you're not hitting full shots, that you need that progressive from, say, your pitching wedge, gap wedge down into the higher lofts to go flatter, just so you can hit those shots a lot easier. And so as far as does it matter, it matters a huge amount, and it's crucial, especially in short game, especially in hitting those partial shots.
Yeah, completely echo that. And I think once you dig a little bit deeper into the wedges, I think looking at the wedges not as a collective, the wedges can sometimes be going, your wedges are your pitching wedge, gap wedge, sand wedge, lob wedge. I'll have my wedges all at the same. Well, they might do entirely different jobs. You might hit exclusively full shots with a gap wedge, and you may pitch with a sand wedge, and you may really only hit bunker 60 degree from an open face position. Those are requiring very, very different lie angles. I know all my wedges are at different lie angles. They're not all exactly standardized because I don't use them all for the same purpose. And I think to Ryan's point, the way we use them determines what we need them to be from a lie angle perspective. So don't look at them all like they need to be the same.
Very good. What else can I grab? You want me to grab more?
Yeah, dive
technical
in.
stuff?
Yeah, let's dive in.
Um,
Well, why are we looking for one there? Randy's is kind of asking a good one there for people to get to know you. Get a little context. RB is kind of like a golfing resume. Like, where did it start for you? Let's get to know you a little better.
All right. This is. I mean, I guess it depends on how long you want to learn about when I washed golf carts at the golf course when I was a kid.
Start to finish. Let's do the 60-second version of that.
Yeah, I started working as a kid in a club barn, like a lot of people in like the back shop, and I just got into equipment. I was always around it. I was always very curious about it. And as someone who took apart things from skateboards to bikes to toasters and lawnmowers, I was always curious about how things go together. And then when I learned that golf clubs could come apart, that was a big one. And from there, it was always just continuing to learn. This was, I sound old now, but it's pre-internet. So it was a lot of magazine reading and trying to figure out articles and getting club building magazines and books and those kind of things. And got into club building, worked big box store, worked for an OEM at a certain point. This is a very accelerated timeline, by the way. Then I started working at a club fitting facility with yours truly in there. And then took a little bit of an exit from the golf industry for a while, worked in nonprofit, worked in beer, worked as a sales rep for a craft beer company, which I quite enjoyed. And but golf always has my calling. And for the last couple of years, I've worked at Golf WRX's covering equipment as their equipment specialist, mostly in the tech side of things and equipment launches, and really diving into the details of what goes into a golf club, what the engineers, their intent is when they create golf clubs. And during all this time, I worked as a club fitter and club builder. I built probably tens of thousands of golf clubs. I'm also known as the Faro Police. Anyone who follows me on Twitter, it's a big thing for me. Is if you're not presenting a finished product to a customer, can you imagine what else is going on inside of that golf club? It's kind of like the paint job on a car. So for me, I'm always about the details and always about digging a little deeper, and that's why I'm here. Excited to be here as well.
Love that. Love that. Well, I mean, this is something like I call it a little preview, right, to what I think you guys will see from Ryan. But what we have, developed with this channel and kind of our, relationship, I think what would be great for the TXG community would be to see Ryan and Mikey develop their own kind of, relationship in that front and from a content perspective, because I think if you put you two together to do videos on, equipment and building and the fine elements of building like ferrules and all those just little nuances that really go from a good build to an elite build, people would love to see that. And I think you two could do some, to be honest, pretty revolutionary work in the content you guys could do that would be entirely different from the stuff that you
absolutely.
and I do.
And so many people ask for that too, don't they?
Many
people.
Yeah, I think you guys, creating your own sort of dynamic and whatever flow and full creative license to make that however you guys want to. But I think people would love to see that.
Totally agree.
Well, I've always liked to share it. That's my big thing, is being able to. That's where. Again, I'm in my shop right now. There's literally a chef puller sitting behind me. It's not a prop. That's a real thing on a bench right now, and it's the idea of being able to let people understand what goes into a properly built set of golf clubs. I get a lot of questions on social about, do these things work together, or, how do I learn to build golf clubs? It's easy to put clubs together. I'm not gonna sit here and say that it's not easy to glue a shaft into a club head, but to know, everything leading up to that point of actually gluing it, like the head weight, making sure the shaft is tipped properly, making sure you adjusted the shaft for the length that is going to be. All of these different little factors that really kind of work into tuning a golf club just right for every single golfer is crucial when it comes to maximizing performance. You can get a lot out of a golf club that is not, say, properly fit all the way. And I know you guys actually did this the other day, like those a box set of wedges, right? They still work. There's nothing that's wrong with them at all. But when you're looking to maximize performance, what does the grind of a wedge do? What does the proper shaft do? What does the length and grip weight and all those different things, how those factor in? That's what I'm always trying to figure out for every single golfer, because it's different for every single person.
Yeah, very true.
Yeah, exactly. And I think once the world opens up a little bit again and we can all travel as a team, I think of the trips that the three of us and, add Mikey to the mix, the four of us could make to Carlsbad, and we're just heading down in there to do our thing, and you guys, we may all have meetings. You guys may have specific meetings relative to content. We may have meetings or test sessions relative to content. I just look at things only one way, and it's just more information, a deeper dive into the equipment industry and sharing as much as we possibly can with the community, which is
well said.
Win, win, win.
Love it.
Yeah. All right, what else have we got going on here?
What else have we got going? A couple people asked if Ryan's local to Toronto. He is. Yep, he is in the same town that we are.
Yep. Yep.
It's good.
Love this. RB, let's do a quick what's in the bag with Ryan Bradford.
Ooh, I like that.
This is a good one.
Okay. I'm trying to think what I have. I'm trying to remember. I haven't played golf. No one's been playing golf around here, so it's a bit of a crapshoot at the moment. Top to bottom, I've got actually a new Bentonardi putter in the bag, which I'm really excited about. I've got the currently the TSI 3 driver and fairway wood, 3-wood. 5-wood's a bit of a long. There's a whole bunch of stuff. I got an old 917 or 915. 915. I should know these things. The Titleist 7-wood. So the old Duffner 7-wood. It's actually entirely Jason's fault that I still have that, because it was an experiment that went extremely right. So I'm continuing to use it. And then the irons are a combo of 919 Hot Metal Pro 4-iron, 921 Tour 5-2 pitching wedge, T20 gap wedge, which I did a little custom grind on, and I think it's somewhere on my social. And then the ES wedges, the new ones. And I've been messing around with the new Adele in the 58 as well, because it's got a really aggressive front leading edge for, and a lot of the courses I play are fairly soft. So it's that's kind of what's in the bag right now, but it rotates. If I was going to go play, if I was allowed to go play, that's what would make it to the golf course today.
It's a big if, isn't it? Yeah. It's the what's in the bag with a little bit of an asterisk. What's in the bag if you could play?
Yeah, exactly.
It's a good bag.
It's
diverse,
a very good
isn't
bag.
it?
Yeah, I mean, RB, people who don't know you and will get to know you, they will know your soft spot, or they'll get to know your soft spot for Mizuno. That's, you have definitely have yeah, I mean, and there's, it's nothing wrong with that. Like, I can't take away that I have a soft spot for TaylorMade. I just can't take that away. I just, I have it in my golfing DNA. I worked for the company and loved what they've done for a long, long time. Does it stop me doing, anything that I need to do? No, it doesn't. But, and you have a similar thing with Mizuno, real close ties. You're very close with Vosh and all the guys down there as well.
Yeah, and when people asked about some of the OEMs, like going back, I worked for a number of seasons seasonally for Titleist and Mizuno, and I got to know a lot of those people because of that. And yeah, that's why I have that little bit of a soft spot there. So it does exist. And that's why and the thing is too, like if you look at I know I don't have it here in front of me, but there's a lot of irons in this little room of mine that I'm sure people have probably seen in the past. And I've just always had like an affinity for a lot of old Mizuno gear. I've got some 14s, 37s, 62s. I'll stop there. But there's a number of sets kicking around that I like to collect. Let's put it that way.
Love that. Okay, let's dive into a few general questions here.
What do you got?
Nally Stu is saying his best drives always launch between 18 and 20 degrees. When he gets it down to 16 and lower, he loses distance. What's the reason for this, and how do I improve distance at lower launch angles? You shouldn't be losing distance at that point. You should actually be starting to get more ball speed, because you're compressing the golf ball more. Less dynamic loft increases ball speed. So launch angle is a direct result of delivered loft. Delivered loft is one of the big factors in determining how much ball speed we produce, that and centeredness of strike. So there's something not quite right there with that formula, that as you increase loft, your ball goes further. That shouldn't be the case. So honestly, first thing I would recommend, go get fit. Go get some answers on a launch monitor, preferably a foresight, to be honest, because you're going to need to know strike point relative to delivered loft. That's the main thing for you. Face to path relationship is huge as well, but those are the key elements.
Yeah, that sounds right. I think everyone occasionally hits like a freak ball that launches at 18 and spins at like 1200, and like you end up with a long drive. But you're right, over 16, I can't imagine you would need more launch than that. It's a lot of launch.
It's a lot of launch. It is
Plenty.
a lot. Yep. And RB, we're just about to, after we get off this, we're going to do a little video today on with Matty on trying to just break down how to hit it 300 yards with the least amount of effort possible, right? So, like, what is the least amount of speed that you can achieve that with, while still being in, realistic launch conditions. Like we're not talking like
Nothing
20
stupid.
launch and 1100 spin.
Reasonable.
Reasonable. So that should be a fun one.
Should be fun, yeah.
When you figure that out, can you let me know, please?
You'll be the first person we text.
Where is your driver right now? Because you've got some pretty good speed. Where's your sort of driver speed and distance and launch conditions right now?
That's a great question. I'm trying to think the last time. It was, I think I'm around 24 and 15. I think that's about it where I'm at. And generally, it's a bit of a fade. It's a pull fade. So I add a little bit of dynamic loft, which adds loft and spin. But it's consistent.
That's good.
That is it. And one thing people should know about you, we joke with Mikey about his disdain for Muni golf courses.
Mikey does?
Hates them.
Why?
Well, that's for another.
How much time you got? Yeah.
That's-
Okay. I didn't hear about that.
Yeah, hates
Okay.
them.
Go on.
But RB, you love a Muni golf course and you love what they offer, and maybe tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I like really nice cut grass as well, and design aesthetics. Let's put it that way. But when it comes to golf and like how I fell in love with golf, like a lot of people, is just being able to play any golf course that was accessible. And as a kid, I would say that the course that I play, even now where I am, isn't the most architecturally interesting. But for a kid to play golf there, it's like $400, which is like, and that's a membership. So that gets people into the game. That's how I got into the game. That's how a lot of people got into the game. And for myself as well, being in a city for a long number of years and I literally lived across from a 36-hole municipal golf course, which was a lot of fun. A Stanley Thompson design, beat up, not taken care of properly. But you're out there and you see people of all different walks of life, young and old, great golfers and brand new golfers, and everyone's enjoying the game. And a big part of, I think, what we struggle with, and even now, not to completely get down the rabbit hole of what's going on with golf, at least in our province at the current state, but people think that golf is this big thing that only belongs to rich people, and it doesn't. And there's lots of ways to get access to the game. As far as people would chain themselves to a hockey rink if they knew one day we're going to close one, if we were talking about just Canadians. But people talk about golf course and they just see this wasted thing that only a select group of elite few use. And you ever go to a municipal golf course, you'll see that is 100% not the case. And most golf courses, there's not a lot of private golf courses that, relative to public access or municipal golf courses, relatively speaking. And for me, it's the gateway for people into the game beyond driving ranges. It's the ability to play for an inexpensive rate on a fun golf course with their friends. And a lot of times that's the biggest thing that keeps people hooked, and that's what got me hooked, and that's why I'm here. But if it means an invitation to a private golf course, I'll still take it too.
That's really well said, though, I think, too. I grew up playing at Tamoshanner, which is at Birchmount and Shepherd in, like, Scarborough, basically. Yeah. Me and my buddy used to take the bus there. But it's true, though. It's like hopefully they don't go away. Like in Toronto, especially, land is so valuable, and you kind of worry, like, oh, God, are they going to get rid of all these? Because there's 5 or 6 here, and it's true. Especially for juniors, we used to go play there for, like, $30 or something. It was crazy. Yeah. And it's becoming more rare these days, isn't it?
Yeah, it is for sure. But yeah, no, I think RB makes a great point. We all like to play nice golf courses.
Oh, totally.
Nice golf courses kept in great conditions. But there is something about going to the municipal level and just meeting all golfers.
Yeah, you definitely will meet interesting people. Cool. No doubt about it.
It's cool. What else have we got here? Derek is asking rad speed, 9 degree, weight forward. Mm-hmm. How will dropping the loft down to 7.5 or 8 and moving the weight back affect ball speed, spin, and MOI?
That's a great question.
Yeah, it's a great question.
What a name, too. That is a great name.
Beauty.
Tell you what.
Derek, I think MOI will increase. Obviously, we understand that one. Pulling the weight deeper into the head will stabilize the head a little bit. Bringing the loft down, ultimately moving the CG around will have an implication on dynamic loft. So if you're adjusting static loft, you may be increasing the MOI while managing the lack of increase in dynamic loft because you're bringing the static down a little bit. So that could be a win-win for you. You stabilize the driver a little bit, but you retain your ball speed and launch conditions via less static loft. The thing that we always kind of try and get golfers to understand is whether you start with an 8 degree or whether you start with a 12 degree, the amount of loft that matters is the amount that you deliver. That's the part that matters in the whole loft conversation. It's not what you have on the bottom of the club. It's how much you deliver at your impact. So I don't think you can really truly get to know that unless you're on one of these launch monitors, Matty boy.
Very true, 100% true. Always worth a shot though, right? Like if Derek, if he has a rad speed, go for a little fitting session, spend the $40-50 if you can maybe just rent space at a simulator place and do the head-to-head test, get some numbers, and you can even do an online fit with the
TXG.
lads.
Yeah, a little online fit.
That would be a good thing to do.
TXG Virtual Fit launches officially today, I believe, is our first day doing those. So
does it go through the website? What's the logistics?
So you can go through info@txg.ca to book it. Virtual at txg.ca will be where you can book that.
Love it.
But you can find more information at info@txg. But I think Dean has maybe 48 to 50 virtual fits scheduled for the week.
Oh, good for him.
So
awesome. So Dean will be doing most of those for now, kind of thing?
Yes.
Good.
Yeah.
The official virtual guy.
Exactly.
Love it. How about this one here with Timothy? Timothy has a 910 D3. How does the new TSI line compare? What do you think?
I think you'd be shocked at how much ball speed difference there was between those two. And I will say, the 910 was a good one. It was a very, very good driver at that time. I just think TSI is such an elite performing driver when it comes to ball speed.
Yeah.
We just done our test ping G425, and we've seen how good the pings have been in ball speed the last few years. The Titleist is a monster.
That driver's crazy.
Monster.
Yeah, I seem to be getting my fastest speed with it.
Yeah.
For the last 6 months or whatever since it came out.
Really, really impressive.
That thing is good.
Yeah, so I think I would love to actually do that test on the channel at some point.
It would be a good idea because
the 10-year test,
we
TSI
should do that.
versus 910.
We can maybe grab a 910 from our pals at Golf Avenue.
Yes. Yep. That would be good.
Great idea.
Because it's still the same sleeve.
There's a
you
big
have to plug in the same shaft.
That's right. Yeah. Go ahead, bud.
I'd say there's a big difference in the ability to fit that driver. That's the other one as well. Is like a lot of the modern ones, you have the base material, which is the big one, allows them to go a lot thinner, a lot faster, which is where a lot of speed comes from. But also the adjustability along the back. It's easy to see, as well as it's also something where you're going to get you'll be able to get speed because you're aligning the center of gravity, strike point and the bias that you're trying to create. So, I mean, I love the 910, I really did, and the shape is really good. But the TSI reminds me of those old 905 S and T drivers, like super round, really good with a lot of speed. So
it's
a beauty.
It is a beauty. It is a classic. That one is a classic.
Classic
Okay, why don't we grab a couple more?
Sure.
Where are we at here? 58 minutes, perfect. We're
let's
in
take a couple more.
Good shape. Opinion on spongy grips, Matty boy. Spongy grips. Soft grips.
For me personally, I feel like they are literally moving around. Like to me, spongy means like you can feel like the core is separate from the outer part of it. You know what I mean? Yeah. I can almost feel like that movement. For me, I think I'm pretty sensitive, like especially like how my hands. If my glove gets a little bit kind of worn or my hands are kind of sweaty, like I need to remedy that before I hit any ball. So for me, I'm not a big fan, but I can see why it would offer you some comfort. Maybe if you have like a bit of arthritis or something, or if you're not the type of person, like I'm pretty sure when I'm about to hit a ball, especially when we're in here and I'm kind of like whatever, if you're a little bit on camera nervous, I'm probably squeezing the absolute death out of that thing. If it's spongy, I'm probably the sponginess is coming out of my knuckles basically. So for me, I'm not a huge fan, but I can see why people like it, totally.
Yeah, I don't like to see too much sort of hand torque.
That's what, there you go. So that's the proper word for it, isn't it? I'm blathering on about this and that. Yeah, hand torque, isn't it?
You're talking about it like a golfer would do. That's
fair.
That's the great thing. Like we will say to a golfer, if we try a specific grip, and we see lots of variance, or maybe the grip's a little bit small and they're having to squeeze it, and we see that they're not really controlling the club face well.
Yeah.
And actually, it's a great segue into we are going to do some testing with grips.
I'm excited about that. And the someone just said it, mind reader there, Freddie M. Best grips, like the leather grips and all this kind of stuff. I'm definitely excited to try those because I'm definitely a person who, especially on a hot day, like I definitely have if I get a little moisture in my hands, it really messes with my head. I'm like, oh God. So something that actually gets tackier. All this stuff is so interesting, the torque and tackiness, the subtleties.
Arby, what's your experience? I know we've all kind of done some stuff with best grips, but what's your experience with best grips or Gripmaster, so leather grips, and something like switch grips, which have obviously the ability to change weights in the back end?
For regular golfers and people that are, we're not talking getting into the technical side of things, I always tell people you want to have the one that's comfortable. And for some players it means having a really soft grip, and other players it means something that's really firm. I prefer something that is generally really firm and corded, a lot of texture. It's always been my go-to, only because I don't normally wear a glove, or sometimes I will, but the idea of like a best grip, when they have this stuff in it that when your hands get a little wet, it actually gets stickier, almost like it activates it, which is kind of cool. And then as far as the switch grips, it comes down, in some cases, accommodating, say, a longer driver. You want to counterbalance it. You want to raise the balance point up a little higher. Being able to adjust that in the back of the grip is always a really cool option. There's also, you can essentially do it with any grip. If you have I think it's a tour lock as well, is another option. I think it's what it's called. That goes in and you can counteract it. But as far as grip size is concerned, there's been a lot of tests where they've been able to neutralize every other element of the golf club and just focus on size. And what they found is a lot of times that it really comes down to just the comfort level of what's going to work for that player. Because I've seen players with shorter fingers and smaller hands just prefer a bigger grip. I've also seen players with bigger grips, it almost looks like it's a little too small, but they actually don't prefer the larger size. And it's not quite like fitting a shoe, right? I mean, everyone's going to have an ideal shoe size, but when it comes to grips, there is a personal element there as far as size, texture, and then the overall dimension. So like it means a smaller or bigger grip or less taper, those kind of things.
Completely agree. It's right on point, certainly with kind of what you and I have found. And we done some grip tests a while back, and we, at the times we were using gears, and
I remember,
we could see the amount of grip roll was one that we were looking at in different grip sizes.
That's right.
We definitely could see that the grip size, taper rate, things like that were quite an influence on the delivery.
It's quite amazing, isn't it? And then how much you grip roll, and then the grip roll can affect face angles and all that kind of stuff from there. No, it's quite amazing. It's been a while since we did like Jumbo Max and all these kind of things. It's funny. It's like stuff kind of comes and goes in trends, doesn't it? Like if Bryson's winning with big grips, everyone's like, "Oh, what about those Jumbo Max?" And then if someone won with leather grips next week, I swear the buzz would be about those.
Yeah, it's so true.
Want to grab one more?
Let's grab one more.
What's grabbing your eye there?
Jack is saying he purchased a GC quad a couple of months ago, been able to adjust loft, swing weight, etc., and seeing the instant results on his quad has been an amazing thing for him.
I can bet it is, yeah.
Yeah, I think it comes down to having the right information. Now, if you can practice, with the technology like this, and that's why the guys in the PGA Tour are using
so many.
GC
I saw
quad
JT
right
with one.
Yeah.
Like it's like every single guy switching, aren't they?
Because it's just instant feedback. Trying to dial in your yardages and all those sorts of things, and you just have the info right at your fingertips.
It's also simple, right? You don't have to connect it to an app to get the numbers. Again, TrackMan's an amazing machine, but I can see it. Like it's like, well, okay, I have to have an iPad with me, then the iPad has to
or
go
someone
down.
else,
and fair enough. I mean, they probably just go throw it in the bunker and hit a few shots. It's a cool item, isn't it?
Definitely.
Expensive as hell,
yeah,
but it's cool.
Yeah, Golf 007 saying 15K is a big investment, and it is.
Sure is.
There's no doubt about that. It's a lot of money.
Tons.
But it's one of those items that could really add to your enjoyment of the game.
Yeah.
For some people, if they're in the industry, it's an investment.
It really is.
So,
it's a business tool, absolutely, it can be. And then for people that are curious about it, I mean, I think it's pretty accessible now to go to a place and rent an hour kind of use with it for, let's say, between $50 and $100. So it's not like you have to own one at least, but all right.
Definitely.
If you have some crazy golf friends, you could rent it out to them.
Rent it out to your buddies. It's so true.
Exactly.
Yeah, we could.
Buddy, we'll let you go do your thing. Thanks for jumping on.
Yeah,
really
this was
good. Really good for the community to get to know you and get to meet you, and certainly won't be the last time you do this.
It won't.
Thank you. I'm very, very excited to be a part of the team, and this really is my first day, so I got a lot of paperwork to get to.
Love it.
All right, pal.
Okay, thanks, Ryan.
See you in a little bit.
See you later, bud. Wonderful. That worked out fine, didn't it?
Yeah, it was good. It was good. I think a little switchboard action with the sound was.
Like
we're
doing all this nonsense like we've been doing it all our lives.
I know.
It's good.
I know.
Worked out well.
Very, very cool.
Well, I can see a lot of people definitely excited to get Ryan's take on a lot of stuff. A lot of people who love the build, love the technical aspect of it. I could see it. The comments were coming in the whole time. So I think that's, needless to say, going to be great.
Definitely.
And he seems like he's definitely anxious to sink his teeth into this stuff.
Not often you get a chance to add a team member who adds the amount of value that Ryan adds to our team. That's, like anything, I always liken these things to trying to build a championship winning team.
Yeah.
At the time when a free agent or somebody comes up that you can pick up, you don't always get the chance to pick up a Kawhi Leonard.
That's right.
A Raptors reference.
That's right. Yeah.
That one popping up was a real great timing piece for the Raptors. And when Ryan and I chatted, it was just such a great opportunity and it adds such great value to our team.
It's great.
Yeah.
The future looks good.
It looks good.
So we are going to film this ingredients for a 300-yard drive right now.
People want to know. What
know.
are the ingredients?
I could guess, but I actually am not really sure. I can't think of what the exact club head speed number will be, but we're going to find out.
Sounds good.
Okay.
All right, guys. That was fun. It was really, really cool to do today. We will have a ton more. I mean, you'll probably have noticed the output on the channel is...
A lot's going on lately, don't you?
It's been busy, so we're not stopping with that anytime soon. You're pretty much going to see something from us daily. You'll find us on Instagram as well. We'll have lots more of that coming.
Yes.
And you'll start to see some other things popping up, some other pretty cool projects as well.
Exciting.
Very, very cool.
Okay, so we'll see you guys tomorrow for a bracket, right?
See you tomorrow for the bracket, the rest of the week, and we'll see you back here live next week.
Yes, sounds good.
All right, have a great week, guys.